Do you ever set big goals every new year only to watch your motivation fizzle out by February? That was me, year after year. Ever since I was a student and now a working adult, I've been consistently missing out on achieving my goals. Sometimes it was a lack of time, other times it was a shift in priority, but all the time it was because of excuses. Then one day, a friend I worked on a project with recommended a book, The 12-Week Year by Brian Moran and Michael Lennington. It implemented a simple version of it for our small business, and I immediately got hooked. I started implementing the same system in my life, and guess what? It's been a game changer. In this video, I want to share my story of how the 12-week year helped me finally follow through on my goals. I'll break down the big idea, the 5 key principles of the system, and how I'm using a custom Notion template to stay on track. If you're a student, a professional, or anyone with goals you haven't been able to hit, stick around. This might be the framework you've been waiting for. The core idea of the 12-week year is simple but profound. Stop thinking in terms of 12-month years. Instead, treat 12 weeks as your year. Why? Because when you only have 12 weeks to reach a goal, every week matters. There's no room to coast or procrastinate. Think about it. In a traditional year, how often have you told yourself, hey, I have plenty of time, especially early on? I used to do that constantly. December seemed ages away, so I'll start slow and only scramble near year end. But in a 12-week year, I feel a healthy pressure from day one. The finish line is always in sight, and it creates a sense of urgency and focus. You essentially get 4 New Year cycles in a year, which means 4 fresh starts and 4 chances to celebrate your progress. At the end of each 12-year cycle, you assess how you did. Take a brief break to recharge, just like a traditional year-end break. Celebrate, and then you plan your next 12-week sprint. This rhythm keeps you from burning out and stops you from drifting off course for too long. Alright, let's break down how to actually do the 12-week year. It boils down to 5 key practices. I'll go through each one and share what I did in my own life so you can see how it works. Think of this as a cycle: vision, planning, execution, tracking, accountability, all within a 12-week container. Key 1. Create a compelling vision. Everything starts with your vision, your why. If you're going to crush a goal in 12 weeks, it's gotta be something that truly matters to you. Ideally, it's a vision for a future that inspires and emotionally connects with you. Now, before each 12-week year begins, I take time to craft a vision for what I want to achieve in that period and how it links to my bigger life purpose. This can be your vision board or a simple life goal table, so you have something to work towards. For example, one of my long-term visions is to eventually build an audience of like-minded individuals who share the same passion as myself. For the first 12-week year, I set a specific goal: launch my YouTube channel and publish videos on a fortnightly basis. The step might sound a bit fluffy, but it's crucial. When things get tough, and they will, a strong vision is your fuel to keep going. It's the antidote to shiny object syndrome and mid-project burnout. So if you're following along, ask yourself, what do I really want and why do I want it? Make it vivid, make it compelling. The vision will push you forward when willpower fades. Key 2. Treat 12 weeks as a year. The heart of this method is embracing the idea that 12 weeks is equal to 1 year in your mind. Initially, I thought it was just an illusion, but the effects are very real. Suppose you missed out on your goals completely, as per usual. The difference this time is that you only missed out on 12 weeks, and not a whole year. And you get reminded again that you need to do something about it in the next 12 weeks. Every week is like 1/12 of a year. So if I waste a week, it's like wasting a whole month in old terms. The thought keeps me on my toes, yet surprisingly, it hasn't felt stressful. It's actually liberating to know I only have to stay dialed in for 12 weeks. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's absolutely doable. And the progress is tangible. For the first time, I'm not rolling the same goals year after year. In 12 weeks, I either hit the goal or I don't. And if not, I regroup and start a new cycle, armed with lessons learned. If something's not working, you only commit for 12 weeks. For an overthinker like me, that's so valuable. Key 3. Plan weekly and daily. Execution is everything. Having a goal is one thing. actually executing on it is another. The 12-week year system places huge emphasis on weekly planning. Here's what I do. Every Sunday, I sit down and sketch out a weekly plan for the upcoming week. I ask myself, what are the most important actions I need to complete this week to move closer to my 12-week goals? I usually come up with about 3 critical tasks for each goal that week. Sometimes these tasks are recurring, so not much additional planning is required. Key 4. Track your lead and lag indicators. One of the coolest insights from the 12-week year is how it approaches measurement and tracking. We usually measure success by the outcome. In the book, those are called lag indicators. They lag behind the work that we actually do. The problem is, if you only look at lag indicators, you're looking backwards and you can't change anything by the time you see them. That's why the author stressed tracking lead indicators too. These are the actions that drive the outcomes. The most important lead indicator in the whole system though is something called the execution score. Basically, it's the percentage of weekly tasks that you actually completed as planned. You have almost full control over that, and it's a great predictor of success. The authors say if you're not executing at about 85% each week, you likely won't hit your goal. Key 5. Build accountability and commitment into the system. The last piece of the puzzle is accountability, and this one is the secret sauce that makes everything else work. The book actually defines accountability as a willingness to own your actions and results, regardless of the circumstances. It means if I don't follow through on my plan, I own that failure. To reinforce this, the book suggests that you set up a system of external accountability too, because let's face it, we're human and a little peer pressure helps. Find a friend to do this with you. Every week, have a quick 15-minute check-in call with your accountability partner. In that call, focus on doing 3 things. First, share your execution score from last week. Second, celebrate any wins or progress made. And third, state your top commitments for the coming week. This isn't about guilt or shame. You're not there to scold each other. It's more about support and a bit of positive peer pressure. By combining all these components, vision, 12-week goals, weekly plans, leading measures, and accountability, I've essentially created a personal execution scorecard for my life. Remember, feel free to create your own version of this. Tools don't matter as much as the habit of using them. The goal is to get everything out of your head and into a system that keeps you accountable. When you have a clear plan and you track it, you'll be amazed at how much more you can get done. If you've been reading books in this genre before, you realize that most of it are new. For me, the 12-week year was the missing puzzle piece that brought all these great ideas together into one practical system. It gave me the structure I needed and the story I could commit to. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments below what 12-week goal you'd like to tackle this time. If you have any questions about the system or the template, feel free to ask as well. Here's to making every week count. Cheers.